Did you know that ketchup wasn't always the sweet tomato sauce we slather on fries? In fact, its origins are wild, and it started way before tomatoes were even part of the recipe. Let's rewind to 17th century China, where a fish-based sauce called kê-tsiap was a popular condiment. Made from fermented fish brine and spices, this sauce was salty, tangy, and nothing like the ketchup we know today. British traders encountered kê-tsiap during their voyages and brought it back to Europe, but tomatoes were still a mystery in these recipes. Over time, Europeans experimented with ingredients, adding mushrooms, walnuts, anchovies, and eventually tomatoes in the 19th century. This evolution transformed a pungent fish sauce into the sweet and tangy ketchup we now pour on everything from burgers to eggs. The journey of ketchup reflects a larger story about how foods evolve as they travel across cultures, adapting to local tastes and ingredients. So next time you squeeze ketchup from the bottle, remember, you're tasting centuries of global culinary history, from fermented fish brine in China to your backyard barbecue. What other everyday foods might have unexpected, globe-trotting pasts waiting to be discovered? Let's take a deeper dive into ketchup's fascinating voyage and see how it mirrors the broader patterns of culinary transformation around the world. The story begins in the bustling ports of Southeast Asia, where kê-tsiap was a staple. This sauce, made primarily by fermenting fish with salt and spices, served as a savory addition to many local dishes. It was prized for its umami flavor, a taste sensation that enhances the richness of food. When British sailors and traders first encountered kê-tsiap, they brought it back along their trade routes, introducing the condiment to European kitchens. However, the original recipe was adapted significantly. Early European versions of ketchup didn't include tomatoes at all. Instead, they often featured mushrooms, which were abundant and familiar, or walnuts, which added a nutty depth. Anchovies were another common ingredient, providing a salty, briny undertone reminiscent of the original fish sauce. These variations highlight how ingredients were substituted based on availability and local palate preferences. Tomatoes, a New World crop introduced to Europe in the 16th century, were initially met with suspicion and considered ornamental rather than edible. It wasn't until the 19th century that tomatoes became accepted as a food source and eventually found their way into ketchup recipes. The addition of tomatoes marked a pivotal shift, turning ketchup into the sweet, tangy sauce beloved today. Sugar and vinegar were added to balance the acidity of the tomatoes, creating a harmonious blend that appealed to a broader audience. This transformation from a fermented fish brine to a tomato-based condiment is a testament to the dynamic nature of food culture. Ketchup's evolution also reflects broader historical movements, colonialism, trade, and globalization, that facilitated the exchange of ingredients and culinary ideas. The sauce's journey from Asia to Europe and eventually to the Americas illustrates how foods are not static, but continually shaped by human migration and cultural interaction. Beyond ketchup, many everyday foods share similar globe-trotting histories. Take chocolate, for example, which originated with the ancient Mesoamerican civilizations who cultivated cacao. It was later introduced to Europe, where sugar and milk transformed it into the creamy chocolate we enjoy today. Similarly, spices like black pepper and cinnamon traveled along the Silk Road, influencing cuisines from India to Italy. Even staples like potatoes and corn have histories tied to exploration and trade, profoundly impacting diets worldwide. Understanding these stories enriches our appreciation of the foods we often take for granted. Each bite carries echoes of distant lands and centuries of cultural exchange. So the next time you reach for that bottle of ketchup, consider the complex journey it took to become the condiment on your table. From the salty, fermented fish sauces of ancient China to the sweet tomato blends of modern kitchens, ketchup embodies a rich tapestry of history, culture, and innovation. It reminds us that food is more than sustenance, it's a living record of human connection and creativity. Exploring these culinary histories not only satisfies curiosity, but also fosters a greater appreciation for diversity and tradition in our diets. What other flavors and recipes might you discover if you look beyond the surface? The world of food history is vast and full of surprising tales waiting to be uncovered. So, keep exploring, tasting, and learning, because every meal is part of a much bigger story.